Action ones. There's two photos on stuff.
Yeah, they're still separate. They're separate.
I'm not saying discussion, there's two
For both.
photos every month. The discussion meetings, talk about it.
So the accurate recognition we've done is.
Action, yes. Sometimes those combined right after recognitions. Okay.
Because they'll come on, they'll do their thing, like allegiance, and then immediately they do recognitions. Because if their students or whatever get recognized, their parents are here, their uncles are here, their grandparents are here, so they don't want to keep them for business if they don't, because that's not why they're here. So they do the recognitions, and then as soon as that's not what they do, non-agenda and agenda. That's so good that they do.
Yeah, good. I mean, tonight, it's action.
But it's just
Seven.
So, if they want to play nice, that's important. They start bickering back and forth. It goes on longer than it should.
Some of the baby one, that's oh my God. Oh.
You have a platform.
And listen, I'll tell you something. And this is a tree. She made a stupid social media page. Outside of that, she was probably the biggest supporter of this. When I say some top us, I mean, she was off the charts. Any chance she had to praise us and say we're a great job. So she was a true supporter of it. As crazy as that sounds, okay? And Ron and her, and Ron would fuck with her. And she would
Yes.
take debate. And then she would get like crazy and she would like start yelling and say shit she shouldn't. And she walked out one night. Come on outside. I'm like, hey, what the fuck are you? She's like, I can't have he's not listening. He's baiting you. He's throwing it out, and you're biting and he's yanking. I said, you gotta just laugh and just go on fire by it, go ahead. But like you're losing your shit. Like people are seeing it. And she goes, you're right. She's looking at my I said, I'm not picking sides, but like you're making an ass out of yourself. And he's sitting over there with a smile on his face. I don't like Ron because he supports us too. But when I say that on Amy, people are like, oh,
Good.
you can't be serious. I'm like, no, Darren.
Right. School fun for him.
Yeah, he's gonna phone the laptop.
And you'll be set.
Well, I still gotta do the state stuff, the tax, the training and certification stuff, and he's gonna get down to the courthouse and get sworn in by, well, technically he has to get certified. So it's through the common police court, it's not, Peck has zero authority over us. I still have to report you as joining our department, and we still have to take the 2 days of updates. But Peck does not think they have no power. It's really weird, but.
Real quick, get your cheaters. That's, I just wanted you to
Do
show
you need me
the
to
text.
talk a little bit?
No, you're okay, just let it.
This is one that I gave him on the 13th. That's John Pastore. He's the guy from the Allegheny Health Foundation.
I have it green lit, so it's not muted. Do you want me to mute it?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Okay. It's that was on number 13. If you do me a favor.
But you saw his response, like,
Yeah, he's
oh,
got a seat on, so. Can you, it's like 2 months. The problem is it's November 13th, 2 months over 2 months ago.
I know.
And Joe, and you have a relationship with Monzo, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, call him, please.
Okay.
And just say,
Yeah.
look, that's a big thing. He does an unbelievable job.
Oh, 100%.
I want him here.
Right.
We'll pay him.
Okay. I just didn't want to leapfrog over him,
No, it's a
because then he could say, well, screw you, then we're not paying.
Because for the amount of shit that's in my budget, I just spent $25,000 on cameras the last 2 weeks. So I'm not gonna worry about spending $1,500 or whatever it is.
I'm just surprised, because he always gets back. Not Thursday is what I said.
Okay, you can shut it
All
off.
as well, I never heard, and he never got back, which is odd for him.
So, because you gotta help, that's insurance pays for once a week. Probably this one.
Has this been on in some of the property? And they're drying
I'm
up?
not sure my numbers, to be honest.
Needless to say, still
Or position though, the position has been a problem, I think.
We've been able to hear.
Yes, no, legit,
like straight up,
drug dealers.
just,
Yep.
it's criminal. Hopeless case.
I don't know if that's true, but
Well,
that was a thought.
I don't either, but that shouldn't be possible. But position of like
School for more.
matters.
Got his
But we
doctorate
haven't
degree,
had problems
I
with
believe
that.
from Duquesne
Or is that
University
position cut?
in,
I'm not sure what
position
counseling,
cut now.
along those lines, like a counselor, psychiatric stuff.
Okay.
And
There's been a couple
he
meetings
does.
recently where his spot has dropped out
Skip
and has switched out.
It's not a great thing. It's a badge of honor sometimes, but it's also a big block to being open-minded. Okay? They start telling me about this long time wait, and I know my guys and Joe Lock, and they're going around telling you, you gotta have this dude come in and talk to the kids. And so I'm like, okay. So before he talks to the kids, he comes in, it's like a racial diversity. What was it called?
Embracing differences.
Embracing
is what he said.
our differences. Okay.
Yeah, you know,
So we go,
touchy feely
so we
stuff,
go in
that's
there,
not my
we go
thing.
in there, and I told Dr. Hunt, hey, we're gonna take those old school police. And he starts on his subject, and I ain't never seen it presented like that. He had me eating out of his hand. I was like, this is what I'm doing. Like he is, there's no black and white. It's all about, you gotta put yourself in someone else's position. Try to look at things from their point of view. Whether that's the bad guy, you're the good guy. The bad guy needs to look at it that same way. And if that relationship isn't happening that way, I'm not trying to quote him. Brendan came in. He said, I'll stop down for a minute. He sat there for 45 minutes. He said, Tim, I'm going to get up. He said, that doesn't mean. So now we have him come in, and he teaches this to the seventh graders every year. They go to 8th grade, we bring him back. He teaches the 7th graders. He's unreal. I don't know how else to say it. I've never seen someone that captivating and take a subject that a lot of people have a problem with because they think it's going to be skewed. And it's not. I don't know how he does it, but I think maybe because he was on the streets for so long, he's now seen both sides. And so this thing just came out of me like, Jim, what's up with this? So this guy's not going to get hurt.
What they do is they sponsor delegating health programs like that. The last, 5 or 6 years.
That's,
And recently, this is the first time that he usually gets back to me. And we do this in January, February. They pay him. For some reason, he's not getting back to me. And we want to continue with this program now it's going to come down to cost. Is the district going to come?
I'll tell you something. A couple of years ago, he found out that some researcher named Alicia Kazakevich, she was a girl, basically was kidnapped. She lived in Pittsburgh.
Her grandfather was the warden of the Allegheny County Jail, if you remember. Kosakevich is his last name.
Yeah, name's not familiar.
She was online communicating with someone, and basically he kidnapped her, took her out to the Midwest somewhere, chained her up.
Chained her in a basement. She was eating.
The FBI rescued her. Like it was national
I
news.
I will turn on until they are just about 5 minutes before they start.
Okay. Online safety.
But for whatever reason,
Communicator with her.
We had to pay
Is
her.
there anything you could build, anything you could do right now? Just walk each one, turn it on here, and then let's see, I'll see if it pops up, so let's just go around the horn.
She's-
You put her pin drop, you know, kids are
Yeah.
talking.
I've done that, that was good. Yours is good.
Okay, over here.
The district
Yeah,
of
this is good, too.
takes
This
the
was
initiative to do stuff.
Yes, that was fine.
Do that.
This one,
She was
7.
7, go ahead.
But I'll let you know on this. I don't hear from him.
Yeah, that's good.
Tomorrow,
Please,
Thursday.
definitely.
I'll text Dr. Wade personally and say like,
14?
I can't promise if he wouldn't do it.
14?
But I'll just say, what would be your?
I mean, even if he's not going around and doing it for everybody, just tell him. Chief,
Everything? Good.
would love for you to come back in and continue to do that. And I will pay him.
Good, but low RF. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's something.
Watching this meeting,
Like, why?
as they asked me 2 days ago when I was deciding.
Is there another mic on
I
somewhere?
haven't answered yet, I needed a couple more days. I wanted to make sure.
You
Let's get on.
don't lose your damn rights. But you don't do shit.
Yes, they're off.
You know, I'm
Turn that one off.
Okay.
Who's the chief? Because we did our second round. Who's that?
So those are the same chance.
So we interviewed, and they said,
So I definitely found one issue, I'm sure we're gonna clean that up pretty quickly.
Okay.
you'll be contacted. So I went back and said,
Let's keep going.
Keep going?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
the assistant at the time.
Like two?
And she says, Tim, you
Really?
can come back out.
Good.
She said, if you're not in your city, you changed, don't come back out.
Six?
Sit in the parking lot. He's like, how are you? So I asked him to come back in.
This is good, but low.
So Don, I'm not rolling the dice. And I went back out, but then.
The first one, that is a 6 on.
And this one?
Yeah.
This is 15.
That's 15.
And it's 6 feet, it's like a week and a half away. I said to him, until the board, I'm giving the keys for 2 weeks' notice, and I'm staying on 2 weeks. So,
Go ahead.
Okay.
he's like, whatever.
It's 9.
That's fine, I don't care. And so I waited too, because sometimes you say, well, I'm giving my 2 weeks' notice, they say, no.
Go ahead, that's fine.
It's good.
And then
This is 5.
Approves you, and it doesn't.
Yeah, that's all.
Next thing you know, you know, some council person's nephews do it.
Good.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah,
3.
that was the last thing done. I don't know how many people watch this, like you can watch it live, you know, on
This
this.
battery's good, it's on. There's another, that's another one that's got really low RF.
You
Okay.
catch it like.
You want to switch it out maybe?
No,
No.
it's just, this is part of, why the clear direction has, that's not even, that has line of sight even. Okay, what's that last one?
17.
Which number is that?
17.
Something in the wrong.
You know, I mean, like,
That's 7. Never mind.
It's good?
That one's added, but yeah, still very low.
It's low.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. I don't know what this one's doing back here.
What recognition do they?
Go ahead, turn that on.
Not individual students, are
16.
Recognition for,
Usually they do that, that's for sports.
Yeah, I got that one too, the low RF, and that one's,
It's 4.
yeah, that one has more of a line of sight.
You're having a temporary moment, Jen.
can I do it without looking down the paper? Plum Foundation. And Plum Mustang Foundation are coming in with $3,000 donation. We're gonna do a picture with a big check. Has it ready?
Yeah.
But don't touch it because it's trying to raise. But like you this spirit, like, oh. It'll say like they donated zero. They did lots of zeros. You're the one good.
So one time, we were getting ready to do a search warrant, right? Drug search warrant. We had a very free story in our box office. So, we would have pictures of the house, and pictures of this and that. We didn't have. So I'm in on the street, like this, finished, I grabbed the race car, I mean, grease board, it was like 5 feet wide, like 4 feet tall. It was an absolute, like, almost like a Sharpie. I went like this and mounted it, I'm like, get that out of here. The whole room. That thing's junk.
guidance. Monk, not the big guidance monk, the littler one, back further. I stood up and started to write on it, they're like, damn! There's like a little line on it, like this far. They're like, that's you can't go on. I was like,
Was it,
I don't know what
like,
that's
did you at least use the dry erase so it came off?
it did come off. So, that's why I was like, yeah.
Keep them away from the markers.
You can't bring, as long as these squares on there, you catch them there. It's just not gonna, it's gonna take a while. It's been a little over 5 years now, just like. Yeah, Jim. Listen. But I didn't hear, so we started getting the countries. Jimmy was the last one. I got back to me, so there's no way.
They're swingers.
There's just. Yeah, and the publishers are trying to put them in rooms. And others. When are you changing quotas, and then all of a sudden it's, $300,000. You know, so it's just, I asked, I said, well, someone that's
We should all have reason to be, you don't want children to be able to. I get it. So I was like, that makes sense.
You were too far.
Right.
That can be.
You put the shoes on there, how you go, can't use it.
Mike, you got a second? Mike, I was gonna say, I wanted to make sure I. He was already. So. Yeah, I'll find him. Yeah, awesome. Look. Walk for it. Don't like that. You want to see yours for no reason. No. But that's wrong. No, I sure. I get it.
You're not qualified.
They're looking at that stuff. Crazy happens. Because if it was 2 of us, mom was down there, mom was staying there.
Right.
Deal with that kind of thing.
Right.
But the one person is over there and they're stupid. So they get in. We said. We read it. Read this. It's a new policy. Okay, we read it and we sign it. Everybody look at it. Stop. Yep, yep.
It's just my bag.
So he might.
Yeah, sorry, my hair's wet.
How did you go?
Yeah. Was it a practice or a meet? A meet. So I swam 2 events and then I left. Yeah. Yeah, I was able to at least get some swimming. Did you leave? Yeah, early. A little bit, yeah. But I still swam.
There's always a student.
I swam one of them with single trainers. I said, that one I did the relay. My coach was like, okay. So yeah, because it was originally going to be this Thursday, so we didn't find enough officials for that meet. So they had to move it to the day. I was like, why'd you do that? So he was very understanding. This is the only time it's and they don't fall. Yeah, but I just had to pack it in. Yeah. I love your sweater.
It's in the agenda, right?
So, the agenda.
Congratulations.
Yes.
I think we're good.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
So, usually I try to go out
You
after.
folks are,
Just like team on and everything.
Yes.
But every time.
Good timing, we were able to help out for the Rachel's challenge.
So we don't have, like,
Well, they-
go out
they-
and go home. Right. Like, you have to wake up and you're late. But today we don't have morning practice.
they went on.
So after this meeting, we go to.
Did you see the hall?
No, I didn't walk around.
Okay, that's what I was doing.
See what I'm talking about?
Just the development and the students, it's just gonna make the community so much better.
The ones that I have.
Things like that are what, what our bank
The recognition,
wants to do.
especially in.
Yeah, I think a student that needs,
I've been hired people, 8 months, 7 months. It was like, I felt like I was back in the county. Another officer, myself, were hired to Gateway. He left Gateway here. I wasn't. Good boss, extremely nice guy. Half the drive from there. I live right past Hartman, right past the so it's more money, less of a drive. So, okay. And this
It's like Imperial's flat, and then whenever it came back, the pyramid was like up on the side.
I mean, it's.
So like, the big struck a little bit, and everybody else, somebody didn't know maybe not. It's alright. It's used as a.
10 years.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about.
So I think we should just follow.
Yeah, no,
It's not a game.
Every management meeting, everything, there's a whole rate of stuff. Pennsylvania State.
Because I think it's that.
You guys make it easier when you're punching.
Oh, yeah.
But the financing is always,
Oh, yeah.
that's always the tricky part.
Service.
Yeah, is it, the staff's great. I've been working with Ryan since he's been here. And I work with John, John Borchak, so he's great.
Usually in
So-
service next week.
But one of the
Other days,
things
it's a 2-hour delay.
when we report on, so I talked to initially how it is with the donation process and why, it's kind of supporting.
Now, this last one, I was walking with,
Right.
they do report instruction.
The initial, ask was going to have been before our name of the state. My public affairs department, they said,
They want to do something about the community. Rather than put it in the stadium, it's nicer if we can actually stimulate. Generally on delays, you get your $40. That's what's gonna make difference. I do remote instructional. I'm sorry.
We've had a couple times.
Yeah. We used to have them. Yeah. Now I think they're kind of like.
Oh, yeah. I talked to you. Didn't I talk to you?
Sure, yeah.
Thanks, guys. I just wanted to take them on calls and show them all Rachel's challenge
Yeah,
stuff.
that's great.
You can see it.
Hey, thanks for the
Rapper, sure, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. He'll let us know. Tim, real quick, he had a question about, on good service days, generally.
Good job. Nice to meet you. Not really.
Yes, it is.
But,
Yeah, we actually discussed
Oh, I know. You know, it's the last time we had the thing open. Well, yeah, I ordered 3. Because I just couldn't.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like I'm unpacking this forever.
Very excited.
She just wants to review it. She's or something like
yes.
So good to meet you.
I know.
Okay, now what I do tonight,
Like,
1 through 5. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we don't have to go through
Not the Wi-Fi wireless antennas, not the Wi-Fi for the network.
Thank you. Hey, thanks for everything you do. It sounds like you got your hands full right now. Okay. Oh boy. We're good.
I don't like I do all the
Not in this.
Oh my goodness. This is gonna make me cry now.
Usually,
It just always continues, doesn't it? One of these days it'll end. One of these days.
can't wait to say that. I've been going to say that. Yep, because he said we got to the board, I didn't know there. And then somebody else said, how do you know who all who said that? It's your committee, it's each committee, your committee. Yep, yep, I can't wait.
Hey, good morning, how are you?
I see Jen here.
Oh, yeah, Jen, that's great. No, I think you're good here. This is the chill corner. We're just easy go. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, jinx.
And the bags were made at what school? What school did the bags? No, the bags are perfect too. Okay.
You're right. I didn't think you were a student.
Who did these? I know that. I love
I didn't even know there was a school until years ago. Yeah, that's terrible.
I live in the white bag and Brad was breaking it.
Okay, be careful.
You don't want to be part of it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you literally have I get it.
They do.
They do?
Wait till next meeting.
Nope, they did. I got to send out my pickle jar or whatever it is.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we can get the.
We did, what did we do when we were in
This
bubble
might
gum
be.
machine?
Yeah, the bubble machine. This might be.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Oh, I love this.
This.
Yeah. Oh, there's seriously food in here.
What's this? Oh. Okay, let me get the agenda here. There we go.
Seven to walk around. Oh, it's got to tell it.
You have it?
Cool, right? Love Oh yeah, we're going. Yeah.
Beans, I gotta see.
It's a big treat.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Let's go.
Oh no.
Well, I think you're coming too. All right.
Yeah, you're good. Thanks.
Whatever's up there.
Huh? Even now.
All right, you ready?
All good? All right, I'd like to call to order the January 23rd, 2024 action meeting. Please rise for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Macro, roll call.
Mr. Adams.
Here.
Dr. Anderson.
Here?
Ms. Arendt.
Here.
Ms. Shutterwitz.
Here.
Mr. Caligiuri.
Here.
Dr. Richardson.
Here.
Mr. Sokolsky.
Here.
Mrs. Stepnick.
Here.
Mr. Strotke.
Here.
And Student Representative Ms. Schollert.
Here.
Okay, the board met in executive session on January 23rd, 2024 to discuss matters of litigation, safety, personnel, and real estate. Recommend approval of the following minutes as listed below. Do we have a
Make that
motion?
motion.
Thank
I'll
you.
second. Sorry, I'm trying to get my thing to.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Abstentions? Okay. Recognitions?
First, we're going to welcome Mr. Ryan Manzer, our Chief Financial Officer, to the podium.
Thank you. It's great to do a recognition tonight. We just wanted to take this opportunity to extend our deepest gratitude and recognition to the Dollar Bank Foundation for their generous donation to the Plum Mustang Foundation in support of the Rachel's Challenge programs. Today we have Jeffrey Roble. Come on up, Jeff. He is the Assistant Vice President for Corporate Banking and Treasury Management, and he's here on behalf of the foundation. Jeff, I just wanted to thank you for your tremendous contribution of $10,000 to the district. This is the second year in a row that Dollar Bank Foundation has provided this donation. On a personal note, I did want to thank you for your service to the business office and myself. Jeff is here on a regular basis helping out the district. But certainly on behalf of the board and the entire district and the students, we couldn't thank you enough. Additionally, this is a great connection, is that we have representatives from the Plum Mustang Foundation here as well. So we have Daniel Bages, President. Come on up, Danielle. Justin Newman, the Vice President. Come on up, Justin. Jen Mascaro, the Secretary. Shanna Newman, a member. Thank you. And we really just wanted to thank the members of the Plum Mustang Foundation. In turn, the Plum Mustang Foundation has donated 100% of these funds to the school district to support the individual buildings and departments that are directly impacting our students by implementing Rachel's Challenge. Your remarkable contributions and continued fundraising efforts reflects your commitment to fostering positive change within our school community and empowering our students to create a kinder, more compassionate environment. Sincerely, thank you for your continued support. And Jeff, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to say a few words, maybe introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah, hi, my name's Jeff Roble. I appreciate the recognition, absolutely. And it was nice to see when I came in, I had an opportunity to walk around the halls and see the different things at Rachel's Challenge and how it's impacting the students. You know, Dollar Bank, I mean, obviously an important thing for us is always bringing business in. That's what I'm paid to do. But when I can see how something like this, a small donation of $10,000 is able to go as far as it can with everything you guys are doing for this program, that to me is special. And that's something that's going to change lives. And it's just going to happen exponentially. Like continuing to bring on positivity and just, kind of paying it forward and just being a good person, that is going to just continue to pay dividends year over year. And I'm happy that we're able to support it, and I'm going to be an advocate to continue that support as long as we can. So thank you for the recognition. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thanks to Dollar Bank Foundation. Danielle, would you like to say a few words? She's been anointed on behalf of the foundation as the representative here. So go ahead.
Hi, so I just wanted to let everybody know who maybe is not familiar with the foundation, that our mission is to support the students and staff of the Plum Borough School District. So every penny that we raise, every donation that we get, all comes back to the school. We've been fortunate enough to have Mike Caligiuri refine our foundation just a few short years ago, and he's been working tirelessly with us and helping us through this. And being a young foundation, we certainly don't think that $10,000 is a small donation, but we are thrilled to be able to partner with Dollar Bank and to be able to give this money back to the school and to the students and the staff. And we're also hoping to have some grants approved tonight that we can give to teachers as well. So if there's anything that the foundation can ever do for the district or the students, please don't hesitate to reach out, and thank you.
These partnerships are really important for the district. Not only our financial partnership with Dollar Bank, but the foundation, Dollar Bank Foundation as well, and then the Plum Mustang Foundation. This donation couldn't have happened without a 501c3 entity like the foundation being available to receive the donation and then provide it to the district to distribute directly to the students and departments. So we really appreciate these partnerships that we've been able to develop. Thank you once again.
Yep, absolutely.
I almost forgot, I don't want to steal the stage too long, but we do have a special photo opportunity with a giant check that.
Our thanks through social media and whatnot, so we have a big check and we have a backdrop. Plum Mustang backdrop over here.
There's some Jen saying get over there and take a photo.
Jen?
Where'd you get that check? I don't shop anywhere.
I'm good. You going? Yeah, I want to get students more engaged in everything, singing the national anthem, doing telecasts in their games.
School board hat tonight, if you know that Mustang hat on. You should be over there too.
That's what I'm saying, I'd like to see, I want to scale it, make it bigger, yeah.
That's really cool.
Oh, wow, so we can use
Ah, I like it, multi-purpose.
Okay, we're going to move on to the school board recognition. Before we do, I just would like to thank Dollar Bank and the Mustang Foundation for your time and your talent. They volunteered their time in order to make sure our teachers and our students are supported. And I just really can't thank them enough for what they do and giving their time and talent to the students and to the district. So thank you very much for that.
Can I just add quickly to that in recognizing, one, thank you on behalf of the board astronomically, both to Dollar Bank and to the Mustang Foundation. But I think what Mr. Manzer said is just to continue to highlight having that 501c3 in place so that funds can come in this regard. And so you guys can do an awesome job of distributing that on their behalf is really important to us. And I really appreciate that. I don't want it to go unsaid or unrecognized.
So that picture that you just had a moment over there, you took the picture, that will go out on social media. And we're also going to be pushing out board appreciation. Just so that we're all aware, our social media, our app, I asked technology, how many people do we reach? It's 53,168. So when we push information out, it's going beyond the borders of the Plum Borough School District. There's a lot of businesses, the media, they are all have applied to be a part of our app. So when we push this out, I just want to let you know that hopefully your eyes were open and you were smiling. And if not, I apologize in advance. So we're also here to celebrate Board Appreciation Month. January, as you know, we take time to take time out of our schedule to just acknowledge what our board members do. It's important to recognize the tireless effort and dedication that each of you put into creating an environment that fosters the growth and success of all of our students. To acknowledge this occasion, our students from elementary to high school have prepared special gifts for each of you. And if you can see on the Promethean board, it is listed. These gifts are symbols of the decision this board makes on a monthly basis that gives our students the opportunity to communicate, to collaborate, and to be creative. The gifts were created at the building level, within departments, within the STEM labs, the fine arts. Some of the decisions that you made 6 months ago, 8 months ago, are in those bags in regards to a ceramic. And I can't thank you enough for that. Because I do believe when we give our students opportunities to have real-world experiences and to create items in STEM lab or work collaboratively, we are preparing them for college and career. So I hope that this recognition serves as a small gesture of our appreciation for your unwavering dedication to advancing the education of our students. We have a few small videos, approximately total 3 minutes in length. Ms. Macro, if you want to just give a brief description. I believe the first one is at O Block.
Yes. So for O Block, the students got together and wanted to sing you a song. So the first video will be their musical performance. I'm going to pause it for this one.
Okay. I think we heard at the beginning, you.
We'll start it over.
Okay.
I'm going to try one more time.
Okay. There we go.
Here we go.
The beautiful sound of children singing. And there's 2 short videos.
Yeah, so there were a few of the students that helped. Inside your packages, there's some fudge from a local business that distributes it publicly, and these students have the opportunity to go there and work as part of their school day to get that on-the-job training experience. So they recorded 2 short videos to tell you a little bit about the process.
Hello, my name is David Skirvin. I am a senior. I have had the chance to volunteer at Spectre Fund with Mrs. Tessel. I place chocolate-covered pretzels and bark into packages. Then I use the heat sealer. We broke bark into pieces. I put labels on the packages. I like going there and getting new experiences. I hope you like your snack. Thank you.
I love it. That's so cool.
This is what going. My name is Henry, and I'm a freshman, and I did a fudge factory. And my favorite thing to do is to break up the bark and to put labels on the passages. And I hope you one for you treat. Have a nice night.
Okay. I just want to say thank you for all that you do. And please accept the gifts from our students with our utmost gratitude. Hopefully you can see from the videos to the tokens from kindergarten through 12th or through high school. And it's what I mentioned a couple weeks ago, is that the decisions that this board makes, please don't forget those videos that we just watched. We may have disagreements from time to time, but at the end of the day, the students that we just observed, the decisions you make are important to them. And hopefully the gifts would be a reminder throughout the year of why we all sit around this table. So thank you for your time and your talent, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And from the entire faculty and staff here in the district, I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Walsh. Mrs. Macro, citizens' comments? It's a busy night for you over there.
If anybody in the audience would like to make a comment at this time, you're welcome to step to the podium. One at a time, we ask you to state your name, your residency within Plum, and then you'll be provided 3 minutes to speak. Just a reminder that this is a time to share your ideas, comments, and suggestions rather than a question and answer session with the board. I will put up a timer on the screen so you can manage your time as well, and I will give you a 30-second warning when we're getting close. When you're finished speaking, I just ask that you write your name on the clipboard at the end of the table so I spell it correctly for the minutes. If there's anybody that would like to speak at this time, please step to the podium. Dr. Anderson, back to you.
Wonderful. For the President's Board report tonight, this evening I'd like to provide a quick update on the budgetary process for the public. I want to ensure that people understand the timeline and decision-making process before us. It's important to note that the makeup of the school board changes every 2 years. It creates a constant ebb and flow of knowledge being transferred, strategic visions being set, and day-to-day and long-term decisions being made. Currently, the board is in the process of reviewing and approving the annual budget for the 24-25 school year. In December, we held a budget workshop and voted not to raise taxes above the index. This decision does not bind us to a tax increase. Rather, it tells the state and our community that we agree to limit ourselves should we choose to raise taxes. In March, we'll hold a second budget workshop, which will be informational in nature and provide us an opportunity for educated discussion, strategic vision setting, and further discussion of operational costs. In April, we'll review and vote formally on the proposed 24-25 school year budget. This vote starts the mandated 30-day clock where our budget is on display for the public. In May, we will have a second formal vote where we will adopt the budget for the 24-25 school year. A decision to raise taxes involves that ebb and flow mentioned earlier. The annual budget includes the day-to-day operational costs that it takes to run the district, as well as long-term planning. This administration and board are committed to providing every one of our students with an excellent education in a safe environment that is conducive to learning. I would be remiss if I didn't also highlight the breakdown of funding for our budget each year. It is projected for the 24-25 school year that 58% of the budget will come from local funds, 41%, roughly these are, will come from the state, and approximately 1% will come from the federal government. This includes the unfortunate loss of federal funds in the 24-25 school year. From 2020 until now, we have received over $4 million from the federal government. With the 24-25 school year, the COVID relief funds expire, and we will lose $1.1 million. For several years, these funds have allowed us to support vital programming and services to our students. In the post-COVID reality of education, it is paramount that we continue to offer, support, and fund these services and programs. As a board and administration, we will continue to seek to provide excellence in all aspects of education by managing our current programming while also considering long-term goals and priorities. Led by a phenomenal administration, and I say that even on board appreciation night, this board is taking a strong process-driven approach to these long-term decisions. As you know, and as we can all attest to, we've reviewed the results of the facility studies performed by HDG architects. We recognize that there are significant long-term costs associated with maintaining our district facilities. Recently, the board toured one of our facilities to discuss potential renovations needed to not only keep our facilities safe for our students, but also to provide an environment conducive to learning. We will be touring another building this week, as maintaining and renovating our facilities is a vital component of the decisions made around the annual budget. Earlier this month, we reviewed the presentation by PFM, which thoughtfully illustrated several financing scenarios to provide the necessary funding for these facility projects while assessing the local budget impact for each scenario. In the coming months, we will review additional information regarding our district's enrollments, trends, demographics, and operational budgetary needs. This additional information will allow us to carefully consider the most efficient use of our resources in a fiscally responsible manner to address the long-term capital needs which will have long-lasting impacts on our students, educators, and school district community. There is much to consider in the coming months and thoughtful decisions to be made. I trust that this board and administration will arrive at fiscally responsible conclusions that exceptionally prepare our students for success. Dr. Walsh.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson. I just have a brief report this evening, just a few updates. On January 15th, our kindergarten registration opened for the class of 2037. So what's interesting to note is that in that short amount of time since the window has been open, 134 families have already enrolled their student or their children into kindergarten. If this board remembers, about 5 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, our registration process was in person. It was 5 days. It was in each of the buildings. We have continued to that continuous improvement to give our parents opportunities so they don't have to call off work. They don't have to miss their day-to-day routines to sit in a line where they can do it online now. What else is I want to note is that Kinder Camp is May 30th and 31st. And for those families that register, it is a wonderful opportunity to begin the transition process. New students will attend school at one of the 3 sessions on those days. And it's an opportunity for the kiddos to see the classrooms, meet the teachers, and get acquainted with the buildings. I believe that eases a lot of anxiety. And during that time, parents have an opportunity to meet with the administration and others to really get a sense of the school and an understanding of our routines and our processes. It is also the end of the first semester, if you can believe it. We're at the beginning of the second semester. Report cards are live to parents. They went live yesterday. There will be additional information going on our app to remind parents in regards to how to check report cards. So moving forward, we will be in February maybe March, we'll be moving a recommendation for the school calendar next year. We have taken a pause in regards to the new regulations at the state in regards to the requirements of 180, 900, or 990 hours. The legislators have given us flexibility in regards to what our calendar will look like moving forward, okay? So we are having conversations internally, and hopefully we'll be prepared in the very short term to move forward a recommendation. One significant recommendation on that calendar will be a graduation date will be posted early for parents to plan. No longer will they have to wait until April 1st to figure out when their seniors are graduating. What we will do is, if there's any changes to that date, we will notify families by April 1st. So we're going to do it a little different. And I believe you're going to see other significant recommendations moving forward in the near future, but I wanted to put that on your radar. And finally, I wanted to congratulate Ms. Stepnick. She'll be representing the Plum Borough School District at the Allegheny Intermediate Unit. She went down, met with their board, and was selected. And I really appreciate that the Plum Borough School District will continue to have representation at the AIU. So thank you for your willingness to move that forward.
Thank you. I think it's going to be a very special time to be there. They're restructuring a lot of things and having a lot of good in-depth conversations. So anyway, I have a little more in my report about it, but I did get up and say, I represent 3,500 of the best and brightest, because I do that every time. And those around the table that knew me did sort of laugh, but.
Congrats, Michelle.
Thanks.
That's awesome. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Dr. Walsh. Student representatives report?
Yep. Okay. So let's start out with the January Mustangs of the month that represent the qualities that Rachel's Challenge brings to the school are as follows. Freshman Gunnar Horvath, sophomore Jacob Landis, juniors Jada Mazzarelli and Mercy Newell, seniors Sophie Anderson, Haley Depcon, Nate Condis, and Allie Venanzi, as well as staff member Miss Fetterman. And as Dr. Walsh just said, the students came back into 2024 ready to finish off the first semester. And on January 11th, those students said goodbye to the old and welcomed in the new second half of the year. The second semester classes, which I've been a part of, have finished their syllabus review and are now getting into their respective curriculums. Last Wednesday, the Plum Middle School hosted their band concert. The students spent the beginning part of this year preparing for that concert, and it very much showed. And finally, for the first part, for the school musical Bye Bye Birdie, the cast and crew have been hard at work with the rehearsals. Based on self-reflection, the students believe that they sound amazing and cannot wait for the community of Plum to watch this musical. Now onto the meat and potatoes, the student athlete update. So basketball, the girls have been having a phenomenal season so far. Currently, their record is 11-5, which is 7-1 in section, yet are still aiming for that section title, which is in sight. I forget which team they're tied with right now, but anyway. Megan Marston, a future Case Western University student, joined the 1,000-point club on January 2nd against Woody High. The boys are also performing exceptionally well, and they have a 6-9 record, but each practice, each game, they're getting better. They are grateful for all the support they get from the stands and hope to continue improving. The boys hockey team is having their best on the ice and are crushing it. They currently have an 8-7 record and do not plan on stopping. Swimming. The girls' team is killing it. Currently, the record is 8-1, and hopefully another win tonight against Mars, which, when I left, looked like it was going to be another win. The boys' team is also doing awesome. Their record is 5-4, also with a possible win tonight, and they plan to continue winning after today for the rest of the season. But it doesn't stop there. The team has also had multiple swimmers qualify for Whippeals. Dawn Massey, Charlotte Faust, Brooke Price, Delaney Hutzinger, Kaylee Smith, Juliana Raschuti, Amelia Faust, and Reese Scullert have each qualified for at least one individual event. The girls' 200 medley relay, as well as the 200 and 400 freestyle relay, have also qualified for Whippeals. But also, not just all that, but the boys' 200 medley and 200 freestyle relays have also qualified, which brings the boys to Whippeals for the first time since 2022. The rest of the team has been aiming for qualifications and are going to continue preparing to make the time cuts. Wrestling. These boys have been killing it. They currently have a 7-3, a 3-1 in section record, and each of them are aiming for greatness. Recently, like I believe this past weekend, the boys just won the Allegheny County Championship. In each of their respective classes, Dan Masiosi and Charlie Campbell got 8th, Carson Yaka and Rylan Campbell got 5th, Julian Seprak placed 4th, Jack Tondrell, Owen Campbell, and Sam Snyder each placed 2nd, and Antonio Walker got 1st place overall. Rifle. The Rifle team has a 3-7 record, but have big plans to win tonight in their away game. The team members have been getting better and better each practice, while also having an amazing time. And the bowling team, both teams did not have a match last week, but are ready to get back into it this week. The girls have been crushing with a 7-0 record. The boys are not far behind, though, with their 5-2 record. Each member has set goals for themselves, and everyone is helping keep each other accountable. And finally, student feedback. Ooh. The students and their parents politely ask that the district has a 2-hour, if the district has a 2-hour delay or cancellation in the future, that they be announced a little bit earlier. Some student drivers, unfortunately, some student drivers actually came to school in the bad weather, and then they were like, "Oh, there's no one here," and they didn't see the notice until it was too late. And others had parents scrambling to try and plan accordingly for the younger ones to have someone at home. And the girls of the high school are very excited for the girls' flag football in the spring. The younger ones are excited to prepare for that seniors versus juniors powder puff game, and they really want to get in there early so that they can dominate each other. That's all I got.
I love it. Thank you so much. I always look forward to your reports. Okay, moving on. We're going to vote by a consent agenda tonight by each section. So first up, academic and achievement and activities. Myself as lead board liaison, recommend approval to accept and resolve the following 1 to 3 as listed. On behalf of the board, I'll make that recommendation. Do we have a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
I'm a no to 2A.
Okay. Any others? Any abstentions? And just to highlight a few things as my report for tonight, I want to make sure just to note that the State Board of Education has approved amendments in the 22 PA Code Chapter 4 related to career education, and that our district is highlighting those, that we are making sure to align to the new academic standards within our curriculum writing, development of course syllabi, and instructional processes. On those same lines, I think college and career are always something that's near and dear to my heart, and in our program of studies, our high school program of studies, I think it's important to note the college and high school courses that are in there, the improvements that have been made in the program of studies, and I can attest to this as a parent. What's in there is incredibly helpful now as you go to apply for colleges and figure out if the credits will be accepted or not, and so I really appreciate the work that has been done. And just for those who didn't do the tally, there are 32 college and high school courses that we are offering each year. The Plum Senior High School Curriculum Night will be held on February 1st and is open to all students and parents in grades 8 through 11. The Plum Middle School will host their 6th grade student-parent orientation on February 8th. And then there are several senior night recognition, bocce and boys and girls wrestling already occurred. Boys basketball is tomorrow night. The 29th is boys ice hockey. Bowling on the 31st, and on the 1st of February, boys and girls swimming, and the 5th of February is girls basketball. Something else that I think is really cool that we are doing that you might not be aware of, Mr. Karpin, Mr. Kesterholt, and Mrs. Jorgensen are holding sessions for our student athletes on mental health and wellness. In January, they did a discussion about how to handle adversity, and we had roughly 70 student athletes that attended it. So they're happening and they're being attended, and I think very useful to our athletes. I also don't know if any of you were watching playoff football on Sunday and saw the girls flag football that was highlighted on the playoffs. And so we're excited for girls flag football along with our students, just to be able to partner with the Steelers and offer that to our students and our female athletes. We want to be ahead of the curve should it be an emerging sport within the PIAA. And that's all I have. So moving on. Oh, you know what? I also want to say, and we have congratulated and said it over and over, but I would be remiss not to thank the Plum Mustang Foundation again for the donations that we just approved. Really appreciate that, and being able to support our teachers in Rachel's challenge. Okay, so next, community engagement, inclusion, and outreach. Dr. Richardson, lead board liaison. Nothing to vote on tonight. Do you have a report?
Yeah, so first I want to start by saying thank you to the students and everyone involved in showing appreciation to us. All the gifts and videos are beautiful and thoughtful. I can tell they were made with love, so thank you. Thank you for the trust you place in us to represent you on this board. I'm also going to thank you to the Plum Mustang Foundation and Dollar Bank for their generous donation to the foundation. Thank you for your continued dedication to our school and students. Rachel's Challenge, which aims to replace acts of violence, bullying, and negativity with acts of respect, kindness, and compassion. We have activities highlighted on each school's webpage. For example, the O Block and Pivot spotlights, in which students and staff are being recognized for promoting a school environment, building positive relationships and interactions in connections with Rachel's Challenge, and at the high school, as Ms. Scholar mentioned earlier. In our secondary schools, starting at Holiday Park Intermediate, a focus this year has been our positive behavioral interventions and supports initiative. It's evidence-based tiered framework for supporting students' behavioral, academic, social, emotional, and mental health. When implemented with fidelity, PBIS improves social, emotional competence, academic success, and school climate. It also improves teacher health and well-being, and it is a way to create positive, predictable, equitable, and safe learning environments where everyone thrives. February is Black History Month. There will be activities related to educating our students related to Black History Month from K through 12th grade. Activity plans will be posted on the website in February and highlighted on social media, our Facebook page, and Women's History Month activities will be posted in March. That's all I have.
Thank you. Okay, Finance, Mr. Stropke, lead board liaison. Letter A, recommend approval to accept and resolve the following items 1 to 2 as listed below.
Yeah, I'd like to move that forward for vote.
Do we have a second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Do you have a report?
I do. Before I give my report, is that on? Okay. Mr. Manzer, do you have any comments you'd like to make on the December financial report?
I do not. Our real estate has come in pretty consistent with our budgeting, and we'll have a further update on that next month, but no other comments.
For my report this month, as we just approved the Longwood agreement, we're pleased to present the long-term agreement. It's an 8-year agreement with Longwood at Oakmont. The long-term agreement will provide certainty and stability of our tax revenues related to the senior retirement community. Longwood is our single largest taxpayer in the borough, providing over $900,000 in revenue to the school district, the borough, and the county. We appreciate Longwood's commitment to partner with the school district for many years to come. And I also like to note that this agreement, the new agreement, eliminates the 3% cap that was on the previous agreement. So Longwood, going forward, will be taxed at the same rate that all the citizens of Plum Borough are taxed at. So I think it's a great opportunity for the school district to move ahead, and a great relationship that we've had with Longwood for many years and many years to come. Secondly, I'd like to thank Jamie Doyle. Dr. Anderson mentioned her presentation from PFM for providing an overview of the financing options related to the facility studies at our January 9th meeting. As a board, if you have any feedback or any further questions regarding the presentation or options presented, please reach out to Mr. Manzer or Dr. Walsh. Also like to note, it was also noted about the budget process coming up, that throughout January and February, the business office will be working with all the buildings and the departments to develop their item budget requests to prepare for the March workshop. And third item on the board is some state budget news. The Basic Education Funding Commission, the BEFC, effectively released 2 reports related to their work throughout the Commonwealth since May of 2023. The majority report and the minority report are available on the PA House website. While there are differences in each report primarily focused around identifying the exact level of funding increases needed, many common factors were identified in both reports. These common factors include improving consistency of the BEF formula, increased funding for school facilities, reestablishing funding for charter school reimbursement, increasing support for recruiting and retaining school staff, and incentivizing shared services and consolidation and investing in school safety. All the information presented in both reports demonstrates the positive steps forward, increasing much needed state funding for local school districts. We continue to monitor these priorities are reflected in the governor's budget address on February 6th, as well as proposed legislation to enact any of these recommendations. And then finally, just want to reiterate, as we talked about the buildings and moving forward, that we have another opportunity this week to visit, which was in Dr. Anderson's report. Lots of decisions to be made on the buildings that don't only impact us today or tomorrow or the next year or two, but for 20 years to come. I mean, these are long-term financing projects that we need to focus our attention on. So that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Stropke. Forbes Road CTC, Ms. Aronth, Lead Board Liaison.
Yeah, I just have a quick report tonight. I wanted to mention that I attended the Forbes Road School Director Reorganization meeting last month. The students showcased their incredible culinary talents. I just wanted to give them an extra shout out. It was amazing. My next meeting with the Forbes Road team is scheduled for this Thursday, the 25th. So looking forward to that.
Awesome. Thank you. Intergovernmental, Mr. Stropke and Mr. Caligari, co-lead board liaisons. Anything to report tonight?
Not at this time. We do have a meeting scheduled for February 6th, 5th? 5th or 6th.
I think it's the 5th.
Yeah. With the representatives from the borough. So we'll have a report next month.
Are those meetings going to be public?
No.
I don't believe they are.
Typically, those meetings have been before our meeting or their meeting, and it's just been with the directors from the borough and the district.
Anything to add, Mr. Caligari? Okay. Legislative, Mrs. Stepnick, Lead Board Liaison.
I have nothing to report on legislative. Well, I was going to talk about the budget, but then Mr. Stropke did that, so I have nothing on that part, so I'm going to skip back to when I do my other report.
Perfect. Operations, Mr. Adams, Lead Board Liaison. Recommend approval to accept and resolve the transportation safety and security equipment at a cost of $110,238.
On behalf of the board, I'll make that recommendation.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, any report, anything?
Yeah, nothing too extensive other than we still have to formalize it, but welcome to our new officer, DeMarco. And yeah, I echo what some of the other directors have already said. Thank you to the students for the recognition. So, thanks.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, personnel, Mr. Caligari, Lead Board Liaison. Recommend approval to accept and resolve the following 1 to 6 as listed below.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. Do you have a report for this evening?
I have no formal report. I do also want to thank the students for these wonderful gifts. My small home office is like a place where I very proudly keep these things, and I still have a plant going somehow.
I do too.
From
I have the same plant.
Yeah, I even split it. So I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and I'm really caught by the snowflake reference, which we can show to people about being, one of a kind and special. So it's very touching. I believe the other thing that we're going to do for personnel is we're actually going to introduce, although I think a lot of people in the community know him, Officer Michael DeMarco as our newest school police officer.
Thank you, Mr. Caligari. Mr. Caligari, as you're aware, as the liaison for personnel, we've had conversations about adding to our current school police department. We were looking for opportunities to have expanded coverage beyond the student day. And by hiring Michael DeMarco, this has allowed us opportunities to ensure that we have armed school police, not only through the student day, but going into the evenings. Just a little bit about him. First of all, if he does look familiar to you, you might not be the best driver in the borough because he probably was behind you with the lights on. So just a little bit about him that made him an attractive candidate. First of all, he spent 5 years in the Marine Corps. So he has military experience. 20 years serving the borough as a Plum Borough Police Department. And just some of the additional responsibilities and trainings that he brings with him in regards to active shooter training, working with the Allegheny County Community Policing, and just his experiences and his awareness and understanding of the Plum Borough School District. I just want to welcome you to our Plum Borough School District Police Department. I know that you and Chief Hanna you're going to add value to our already existing department, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to get to know you and work with you in the future. So if there's anything you'd just like to say, you have an opportunity.
I would just like to say thank you to the board. Thank you for letting me continue my service and my ability to protect the borough and the children in the school district. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome, Mr. DeMarco. All right, policy, Ms. Arendt, lead board liaison. Recommend approval to adopt, reaffirm, and revise the policies 1 to 5 as listed below.
On behalf of the board, I make that recommendation.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
To all of them?
To 18A2.
Abstentions? Ms. Arendt, do you have a report?
No report.
Okay. Student Services, Mrs. Stepnick, lead board liaison.
I do have a, oh, Jesus. I might never get this back. Can I just have my old seat back? Okay. I do have a report, and I will say first, thank you to Dollar Bank, and thank you to the Plum Mustang Foundation, and thank you to the students. It's really my honor to represent them. And so these thank yous are, as Mr. Caligiuri said, you have them in a room, right? I have 8 years worth of these all over my house. So, and I love them, every single one of them. So thank you to everybody for that. The biggest thing that we've been working through this month is the Special Education Steering Committee, consisting of internal and external stakeholders, is actively working on the development of our state mandated special education plan. It needs to be completed every 3 years. The process allows us to thoroughly assess the services provided to our students, identify areas for improvement, and create opportunities and further progression. And I'm hopeful that we'll set some good benchmarks for ourselves to keep striving to get better. The finalized special education plan is presented at the March meeting, so there's some more work to be done with that. And I think our next meeting is February 6th, correct? Yes. Pupil Services team is currently conducting a comprehensive K-12 program review where we are evaluating instructional practices, researching various methods, seeking resources to support teaching and learning. To aid in this process, we've invited vendors, they came on January 15th, to showcase their resources during it was our day off for school, for students, but not for our staff. So they were here learning. Once we have completed the vendor evaluations, the team will analyze the data to determine which resources are worth further exploration. And we plan to reach out to districts that also utilize these same resources and gain their insight and experiences working with them. Ultimately, the final recommendations for resources will be presented to the board in April. So more to come on that as well. Hold on a second, my internet's going so slow. The Bureau of Special Education monitors all school districts and charter schools in the state to ensure that they are complying with federal and state special education regulations and are improving performance outcomes of students with disabilities. All programs are monitored at least once over a 6-year cycle. Monitoring is conducted on-site by a team of trained personnel. Following the on-site monitoring, the Bureau of Special Education sends a report of their findings to the school districts or charter school. Plum Borough will undergo that required monitoring in the 24-25 school year. This year, the secondary administrators, counselors, and special education teachers are participating in Indicator 13 training. Later in the spring, K-12 special education teachers will be participating in Educational Benefit Review training. School leaders in individualized education programs, IEPs. The IEP teams are responsible for ensuring that each student is making significant progress towards their IEP goals. And the Educational Benefit Review, that process is used to determine whether an IEP meets procedural compliance and that it's reasonably calculated and enables students to make progress. I would like to thank personally our staff and our community volunteers and parents for their extensive work on the special education plan. When we see the final product as a board, I think we're going to see that there was a lot of work that went into this. And that's part of my goal of to keep that conversation continuing. So we can keep working. And it's not every 3 years that, again, we keep building off of that. So I think when we see this as a board, a lot of time, a lot of effort, and how we best implement the best practices for our kids, I think will be evident. And last evening, I'll tell you briefly about what happened at the IU. I was elected by a group of our peers to represent Plum on the IU board to complete the term until June 30th of 2024. New elections will take place starting in March. We also, there was one board member who already said he wasn't going to run. So there's definitely an opening seat. And so again, more to come from the IU for all of us on that. And last night's highlight presentation, I guess they have a highlight presentation every month of different departments within the IU. And last night's was on the PEI, which would be their preschool intervention program. And the IU is a great partner with our district as well as dozens of others in our neighboring districts within our intermediate unit. This year, they are graduating 1,125 students from preschool to be properly prepared and ready for kindergarten. And I think that work is so important. There's 3,340 students within our IU overall receiving services, so these kids are ready for success. And I'd like to thank our IU and the staff of IU and our staff in helping preparing the Plum students who are a part of that 1,125.
Thank you.
That's it. Sorry, lots to say.
Yeah, yep, no. You know, and as you were talking, and I was watching Officer DeMarco and just thinking, it is an incredibly good night. I just think on a night that, one, appreciate us, you know, receiving appreciation, but the work that we're doing, I just want to, like, if you look through the agenda, we're accepting funds that are allowing Rachel's Challenge to move forward and teachers to do what they do best, passing forward program of studies so that our teachers can continue their work into the next year, starting a girls' flag football program, ensuring things with Longwood so that there's stability on our financial side, and then improving the safety and transportation that is happening, improving our safety in our high school by moving and bringing in Officer DeMarco and other hires that we're doing within there. I just, you know, to the new board, some nights, that's rough nights. Some nights, they're good nights, and I think tonight was a good night. So. And you know, we affirm Rachel's Challenge and we passed a policy, although 8-1, that we all reaffirmed our commitment to do good and to abide by the principles of governance and leadership as a board. And so I appreciate that commitment from you guys as well and just doing that work. So, sorry. Upcoming public meetings, discussion meeting Tuesday, February 13th, 2024, 7 p.m. in the library, and an action meeting Tuesday, February 27th, 2024, 7 p.m. also in the library. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Can't take it.
All those in favor? Opposed? All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah, you think?
Oh, did he?
Thank you for everything. Yeah, I mean, I'm just something. Check.
Get a picture of the board, like,
Contract.
with the card.
Sure.
updates and then I did all of you.
your name and head over.
To see where
It's the first time all 9
should make some adjustments.
If you grab the card and take a picture.
Okay, thank you.
I have a funny story about ceramics. And I'm going to send the ceramic picture to my son's best friend. He's in my car one day, and he's like this. I am all flip. I said, you don't, because like I ate, I'm like, you don't actually. I had it my
first year.
I know. Well, but, so he's like, no, I just ate clay today. Ceramics. I'm like, why are you eating ceramics? He's like, well, because, and I'm like, I don't know. I just don't want to know how the clay got from the floor to the table to the bottom.
I'm gonna say you might want to take your badges off for the picture. And this year's the lawn, Dr. Richards. Get a picture on it here.
So this is like black. Like we each have a call.
Yeah, they're all in front of you.
Jeez.
Yeah, no problem.
You can leave stuff here.
It's the mom's heart.
The kids will get a kick out of holding their signs, so.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, good luck to you.
I don't know why I said that. If he's familiar to you, you're probably not the best driver in the car.
Everybody makes mistakes, that's how I like to say it.
But I do believe we have a really good team here. And I think you're going to find it. And I like the idea that while Joe's out, if he can get you up and running, that you can spend time at high school with him. Joe? I don't know. But I'm saying even if we have to switch out or have 2 up here at the same time, whatever you do.
Why is that like odd to me? I get up in your classes,
I'm going to join Masters when I retire.
That's insane. I did
Well,
not know that.
I love this, when you guys open the pool deck. It's just like, drop off. Yeah, they're like,
Sometimes it's good.
stay off the radar, that's a good thing. What? Oh, I did too.
Thank you so much.
I told you guys all.
That's why we want you guys to whatever we can do. These
I could be divorced and still live in the same house. Because that's how we choose to live. So we must yeah, it was about it was a, yeah, it was about a week.
I understand.
his best friend's like, look at this, it's probably, so, we're living long enough to get it. I'm like, okay.
So generally, you catch it now.
It is, this is very mild.
Yeah.
So,
But it's no power.